What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a vlog for you and I'm going to incorporate a lot of different stuff. So before we get started, I wanted to say happy Father's Day because today's Father's Day. Shout out to my my pops Dennis. Wish I was with him today, but I am not. But shout out to all the fathers out there. Shout out to Jason for quite literally being the best dog father there is on planet Earth. But I hope you guys are all having a great Father's Day. And today we're gonna do a few different things. I already hit up a workout. Jason took me through a full body workout, kicked my booty. So we're gonna insert that footage right here with a little commentary for you guys. What's up guys? Taking you through my full body workout today. Jason and I lifted in our basement. We're still doing the good old home gym style workouts, which I'm still really enjoying. And Jason and I went ahead and pretty much hit a little bit of everything today, starting with legs. We usually start with legs, but definitely hit pretty much a little bit of everything. And I was super sore going into this day, which it's not like a bad time to either one, take a rest day or do a full body day and just kind of take things a little bit lighter, higher rep. And I also like to, on full body day, do different exercises that I didn't do throughout the week. So we definitely did a bunch of different stuff for each of the body parts that I hadn't hit previously. Doing different variations with the bands, different forms of squats. You're seeing a lot of different stuff here. So it's kind of like a fun time to just, if you find working out fun like myself, to kind of like have a Disney day and just hit those areas that you feel like you lacked on during the week or want to hit a little bit more or throw in some extra exercises. So I always do love a full body day. I just find it fun because you're not constricted to like one body part. With that said, we're always particular about kind of what we do first. We kind of start with biggest body part and work our way down. But yeah, so I had Jason pretty much dictate the whole workout, which was also really fun because then I didn't have to think twice about anything. He just told me what to do, and I really quite enjoy those days. That's usually like, I go back and forth between loving dictating my own workouts and kind of figuring out what I want to do, or I'll want a coach to tell me exactly what to do. That way I don't have to think about it. So, and that's okay. That's why I kind of switch on and off. And I think that's important to remember for those of you who have either been in fitness for a long time or are just really trying to hone in and get started with stuff, but you're not always going to be motivated and disciplined to do the same exact thing all the time. So it's okay to switch it up. It's okay to change your workouts or have other people create workouts for you or work out with different people. Find different ways to be active. So for me right now, it's, kind of a little bit of everything in the home gym, being really creative. And then cardio-wise, I've been a little bit all over the place this quarantine, but most recently, I'd say most consistent I've been has been with bike riding, believe it or not, which when we bought those, it was more so just for like funsies, like for Jason and I to feel like kids again and to be like riding around on our bikes, like spend time together, but just like going out on a long bike ride has proven to be a very solid workout. It's a very good workout. And for me, like it feels good on my knees because I do have some knee issues. So while I still like want to go out and run and enjoy running, I know it's not always what's best for my body. So switching over to riding my bike more has been a nice change and a really great way to get some cardio in, especially on beautiful days. And when it's really hot out too, it's funny because you just don't even realize how hot it is because you get that nice breeze from riding the bike. So if you guys have bikes, I highly encourage you to use that for some cardio if that interests you. But that's kind of been my jam lately for cardio. That or just trying to get out for like a walk on my lunch break has been huge. I don't always get to do that, but just trying to move and not be so like confined to like, no, you have to run X amount of miles or you need to do this many minutes of cardio. Like, it's been really freeing for me this quarantine to just focus on moving more and listening to my body. And please don't mind, not to tangent, but my back tan is a reflection of my bike riding because I've worn so many different sports bras, so that's cute. But this quarantine taught me a lot with just learning to move more and listen to my body. So sometimes that's all you need to do. So I hope you guys are doing the same. Some of you aren't on lockdown anymore, I know, but if you are, let me know down in the comments. And I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, and I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of the video. And I'm really excited because we're gonna head out in a few minutes. It's a gorgeous day out. It's gonna be super duper hot, but there's a place really close to us in Oneida, New York, a really small kind of like Smoothie Bowl place, which that's something very easy you can make at home, but I'm impressed that they've survived the state of the US with COVID, the state of the world, and they're open. So I wanted to check them out today and go get a smoothie bowl. So we're gonna do that, and I think I'm gonna pick up a few groceries as well to try a new recipe out, and I'll share that with you guys too. So let's go get some food. Also, let me know what you guys think of the quality and the sound. I'm filming with my new Sony vlogging camera. It's the Sony ZV-1, so we're playing around with this a little bit today too. All right guys, I'm gonna take my morning supplements though before I head out. I usually like to take it right around my first meal. I just wanted to share with you what I'm taking. I did kind of like a long chitty chat over on Instagram stories earlier this week. Corey Fit Life, if you don't follow me there, I do a lot of stories there as well if you like little life updates. But I talked about kind of some of the things I'm doing coming off birth control. Now, I've been off birth control for 3 years, so it's not like I just got off it. I think it's been 3 years, right?
2, I think.
Is it 2.5?
I think it'll be 2 in January.
Yeah, because I haven't competed in 3 years, so I've been on birth control.
It's been 2 since January.
Okay, so it's been like 2.5 years that I've been off, and kind of just working on like normalizing my body and balancing my hormones. And one of the side effects that I had coming off birth control, reason why I went on it, was due to acne. So really important is supplementation in terms of kind of balancing out your hormones. So the 2 things that I've been doing are Pervitum hair, skin, and nails. This is a great product, you guys, at a super affordable price point with quality ingredients that you guys can depend on and know that you're getting what you need from this. So this is great in terms of your hormonal acne. Mega doses of vitamins. You've got vitamin C in there, vitamin E, zinc is also huge. Coming off birth control, your body is just like depleted of vitamins. So from what I've read with Beyond the Pill, a really good book, really making sure you kind of get in big amounts of those vitamins to kind of restore your body is really helpful with hormonal balance. So I take hair, skin, and nails. This is 4 caps.
It's only $12.99, right?
No, it's like $10.95.
$10.95, something like that.
And there's also hyaluronic acid in here as well, which is just great for your skin in terms of anti-aging properties. This is for skin and nails, hair and nails also, but I take it more for, I mean, all 3 is great, but for me, I'm focused on my skin. The nice thing about that is there's nothing in there that kind of, there's nothing in there that would be harmful if you're someone with acne. There's nothing in there that would agitate your skin. So I've loved taking that. And then the other thing is Pervitum Regulator Complete Probiotic. So the other thing that goes along with, for myself, long use of hormonal, synthetic hormones like birth control and also antibiotic use, is restoring your gut health. And I believe I probably don't have the best gut health from all of that. So that's the other thing I'm focusing on, not only through supplements, through food as well, but I wanted to share that these are my 2 main supplements that I am always taking. And again, relatively great price point for what you're getting here. With the probiotic, it's a probiotic and a prebiotic blend. You're getting 15 billion CFUs. This does not need to be refrigerated, and it's not true that you need a probiotic that's refrigerated for it to be beneficial either. So this one I actually worked with the designing of it in terms of what actual blends are in there for your gut health. So I'm a little bit biased, but I love this product, stand by it. So those are the 2 that I take in the morning, and then one that I take more in the evening with my evening meal, if you will, is Tyrant. This is a hardening agent. It's kind of advertised as, but what it does is it helps you with decreasing those cortisol levels. It helps with estrogen balance, which just goes along with everything I need in terms of hormones coming off birth control. So this is 2 caps. I take it at nighttime. It's got the DIM in it, which I'm not gonna act like I know how to say DIM, but if you do look at the research, all the studies, DIM is also known to be super helpful with acne and balancing out those hormones. So these 3 together are kind of my beautiful little stack, and I wanted to offer you guys 10% off. So you can enter in code KARA10 at tigerfitness.com. With those 3 guys, it'll give you a 10% off discount. And as always, if you're shopping tigerfitness.com, I don't mention this a lot, but I do have a link that's always in my description box. So if you're shopping there, it means a lot to me if you do take the time to use my link, and I do earn a small commission. And then that also shows Mark and Katie and all of Tiger Fitness my dedication and loyalty to the company, because you guys know I've stood by Tiger Fitness for it's been almost 7 years now, you guys. I was using their products before Mark even took me on as an athlete, so it's been a long journey together, and then coming in with Provitum as being partners with Mark is just, it's incredible. I don't talk about it enough, and I'm not, because I never want to come off pushy with you guys, but it's important for me to also kind of give a shout out to them and a company I stand behind as a dietitian, because there's plenty of other supplement companies out there. Supplements are not regulated by the FDA, so maybe you don't choose to use Provitum or MTS Nutrition. Make sure you do your research and know what the heck is in the supplements you are taking. So I'm not going to take Tyrant yet. I'll take that later this evening, but I'm going to take these guys, and then we're going to head out to try out some new num-nums. All right, you guys, so this has turned into quite the adventure. We are on stop 3 for a Smoothie Bowl because I got not once but twice. We finally learned our lesson and called a place because both places looked like they were open. We drove there and they weren't, so we drove a little further. The next place was closed, so now we drove even further and we're here at Soul Bowl. So I just ordered up a Soul Bowl and I'm starving, so I'm hoping it's delicious. I'm so excited right now. I'm just so hungry.
You haven't eaten yet.
No, I haven't. And I feel like I had really good workouts. I did the 2 long bike rides the past 2 days. So I feel like my body needs this nourishment.
Do they know how long your bike rides were?
No, I don't think so.
See, you just say long bike rides. Is that mile?
Well, I don't know. Long bike rides to me, I feel like they're long. I did yesterday, so Friday I did 16 miles, and then yesterday I did 18 miles. So both days I was out there for an hour and a half. Yesterday closer to 2 hours in the sun, in the heat, and I felt like I was at a good pace, I was getting a good workout in, and it was fun. I loved it.
And look at how pretty she looks.
Aww. Let's do it. I'll give you some if you're nice to me. You did tell me I looked pretty, so I'll give you a bite. So, Coco Loco, this was made with coconut milk.
Was it worth the trek?
Just got back home and Biggles was left alone longer than expected, so time for a little play with Pooch. This is my favorite. Jason taught him to run into the gate.
Okay. He has to double check I'm coming.
He's like, wait, is my favorite human coming with me though?
Get me something.
Biggles and his Jolly Ball. Yes, that is a horse toy. Jaws of Steel.
Get it from you.
Careful. Whoa!
That's what he does. He literally drops and then picks the great forward. He's like, I win.
the fluids he loses from his mouth after.
I know.
Whew. Oh, thank you. Sweet. So I'm a little shook right now because let me tell you the story of my new shoes. I had wanted a pair of these older Nike Freeze Flyknits or whatever, and the new ones they have, I just don't like the colors. I wanted a pair of black ones because what I almost always wear are my slip-on Pumas because I'm just lazy. Like now that I train in the basement, I don't have time to put on socks. I can't be bothered. A slip-on shoe is just goals to me. So I've been wearing my Pumas for everything and I've had them for like 2 years. So I wanted some of the older Nike Freeze in just the black, but couldn't find them anywhere. They're an older version. Literally no website except this one website I stumbled upon called 6 p.m. And they not only had the exact Nike Free I wanted, but when I looked at sizes, they had every single size available. And not only that, but they were cheaper than every other website I found them on. Like Amazon had them, other random sites had them, but they were still like over $100. So these were $65 and they had every shoe size. So I'm like, is this a scam? Am I gonna regret this? Place the order. I did a little research. Apparently they're like a brand off of Amazon or something. I don't know. They're like in cahoots with Amazon. So supposedly it wasn't a scam, so I felt okay with it. It's only been like 3 to 4 days and I already got my sneakers and they are what they were supposed to be. So I'm very impressed. I hope I don't regret sharing this website with you, but not sure what else they sell on there, if it's just shoes, but not sponsored by any means. Just wanted to share that with you. And these, I like them because they're just a slip-on. These are a lot tighter than the Pumas, but I think these will be perfect for my bike riding. So I didn't have any protein with that last meal, with that smoothie bowl. It's pretty low in protein. So I'm gonna whip something up real quick. I wanted to share it with you guys. I think I've shared this on here before, but it's been quite a while. So what I'm gonna use is the Planta Maple French Toast. I use this all the time, and I've shared with you guys that I am trying to do mostly dairy-free. I still have a little bit coming in. I haven't totally pulled the trigger. I still have like on occasion I might have some whey protein or, you know, things like chocolate with milk in it. So I haven't gone totally dairy-free, but for the most part, that is what I'm doing. So I've been doing for my protein powder, the Planta Protein, and one of the things I love is just making up like a bowl and it tastes like cookie dough. So I'm gonna use this, a little bit of coconut flour, and I think just some almond milk. It's been so long since I've made it. I think that's all I use. But good news, I wanted to mention to you guys, Jason spoke with Mark. TigerFitness.com is actually gonna give you guys 10% off all per item, MTS Nutrition, and Ambrosia Collective. So that is one of my favorite things. I would say if you're interested in trying a plant-based protein, now's your time to get it. Cara 10 will give you that 10% off. Plant-based protein is a little bit pricier. This is a 2-pound bag, but it's more than just a protein. Like, let me show you. It's almost like a supplement in itself. Well, it is a supplement, but it's got all this other stuff in it too. There's tons of vitamins and minerals in there. So I do like sharing that as well because I think it's important to note with the price point on this. But it's also gluten-free, soy-free, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm gonna whip up my little protein edible cookie dough bowl thing. I'll share that with you. It's super easy. Do I have coconut flour is the question. So the coconut flour, the almond milk, and the Planta. 1 full scoop of the protein. I'm gonna measure out the coconut flour. I usually do 2 tablespoons of 16 grams. I do like 10 grams, I think. And we're just gonna add a little bit of milk. Give her a stir. This protein's so thick, so you usually need a little bit more milk than you think. That's definitely enough though. So it's super thick. And I don't know, it just kind of tastes like cookie dough to me. Forgot how sweet that is. That's gonna give me 100, well, a little bit more from the coconut flour. But 20 grams of protein. So pretty great protein source for any of my vegans or any of you guys who are just looking to have more plant-based options. I know I can't eat meat at every meal. I don't know if that'll just never be my tea. It'll never be my journey. So good. Carrot 10 for the week. He's like so pumped when he gets invited to come into the room for videos with me, aren't you? He turned into a big bundle of mush. I know. All right, Bruce is all cozied up to me, and I wanted to have a little chit chat with you guys because someone reached out to me on Instagram this week when I was asking, you know, what you guys wanted to hear about in the vlog, and someone said they were really struggling with haters and criticism, and were wondering my tips on how I deal with that. Now, I'd like to say for the amount of years I've been on social media, I feel very fortunate that I haven't had a lot of haters. I mean, you have it no matter what. It doesn't matter how big your following is. It does happen. But I would like to just emphasize the fact that overall, I'm very, very lucky in the aspect that on all my social media platforms, it's a very positive place. I get the random people that just show up and throw shade, but not a lot of hate ultimately. But I think something we can all relate to, whether you have social media or not, is dealing with either hate or what may be constructive criticism. There's a difference there, right? So I thought it would be good to talk about and very relatable for most of us because whether it's on social media, I know I've dealt with it at work, you can deal with it in your interpersonal relationships with your family, your friends, your loved ones, you know, thinking about how you deal with constructive criticism and deciphering, is it constructive criticism someone's giving me, or is it hate? Is it just a troll being a hater? There is a difference there. And, you know, for the most part, I think you're going to handle both of those differently. But the first tip I would advise you with is something I still have to remind myself of as well, is that when someone gives you what appears to be constructive criticism, the instinct for most of us is to be defensive because it's hard to take criticism, right? It's hard for someone to either go onto your social media or say to you in person that what you did isn't good enough or it's wrong, or could be better, things like that. So it's not easy to deal with it, and I think our initial instinct when we hear criticism is to be defensive. We want to defend ourselves, and none of us are perfect, and we all know that, but that is just human instinct, is to be defensive, and that can come across really bad sometimes depending on what the feedback is in regards to. So my advice for you is to first, when someone gives you criticism, you know, if it's a face-to-face interaction, you obviously have to kind of like assess it a bit quicker. But in terms of online, really take a step back. Don't react right away. Take a moment to really look at what that feedback is and assess what the intent is. Is the intent coming from a place of someone trying to help you, someone that does care about you and is just trying to maybe open your eyes to a different side of things, to educate you on something maybe you're missing, or, you know, there could be a lot of good that can come from constructive criticism. And then is the intent just hateful? Is it just purely hateful? And when I think about that, you know, I typically don't respond to those people because there's usually no winning with them. And that's the internet trolls that you have a choice to not respond to, right? You have the choice to not respond to. I usually block, delete, bye, because I've tried getting into it with those people. It doesn't go well. And to me, all it does is show like that they issued a reaction with you. They got a reaction, you got angry, you got heated, and now they know you're wasting your time responding to them and drawing attention to them, which is typically what they want. So that's my advice, that's how I go about it. But in terms of face-to-face reactions, you know, I think that's like, I don't think most people walk around blatantly hating people. Like online, you get people who will, like I know for me, will criticize something about the way I look. They'll say, you're old, this bitch is old, you know, prior to my nose job, and even now still in older videos, big nose, people criticizing me that I had my lips done. A lot of personal attacks, which I feel like are unnecessary. People just say you're ugly, you know, things like that are really, they're not constructive, they're not helpful. Maybe that's your opinion, sir or ma'am, but you can keep it to yourself. So usually that kind of stuff, it does no good. And I don't feel like people act like that in person. I've never had someone come up to me and tear me apart for how I look. That's something maybe people do behind each other's backs, but that's just not something we do in real life. So those are the type okay, Bruce. Okay, those are the type of people you just absolutely ignore. But then thinking about others' intent, like an example is sometimes Jason will offer me some constructive criticism, and my instinct is to be defensive just because it's hard to hear constructive criticism. It is, and none of us are perfect, right? Like, we know this, but our instinct is to defend ourselves. So just always try to respond calmly, whether it's online or in person. You know, take a minute if you can to think about the intent. Are they trying to help me? You know, if Jason offers me any criticism, it's because he's coming from a good place where he's genuinely just trying to help me, like, be better or do better or say something that'll make my life easier. So why get defensive and snappy at him? So just thinking about that, responding calmly. I don't think it ever goes well when you respond angrily, that word, angrily. It doesn't go well. But then having that ability to act on constructive criticism. So constructive criticism should be a dialogue. It shouldn't just be, well, you are a bad driver. That's not constructive. So what is it about my driving? Like, what could I do better? And have that back and forth that you both gain a bit more insight, and hopefully at the end of the conversation and the end of the dialogue, you walk away with maybe some things that you can implement and do, or not for nothing, just an awareness of maybe what you're doing and how it impacts other people. The other tip I have for you guys is that, you know, there may not be the real life trolls, but there's something similar, and those are the people that are just, their intent is to harm you and there is no good from it, and they're kind of just those toxic people that linger around. Now, I suggest you try not to surround yourself with those people, you know, have a group of people who are positive and uplifting, but there are times when we don't get to choose who we're around. You know, your work environment is a big example of that. Sometimes your family life, you can't choose your families either. Not all families are perfect rainbows and butterflies, right? And we're all quarantined and locked down. You know, as much as possible, minimizing your time with those people, because there's probably not a lot of good constructiveness coming from what they're saying, and oftentimes it's a reflection of their own selves. It's them trying to tear you down to make themselves feel better. So when I think of it like that, when there's certain people that kind of always have these negative comments to say, you know, I think about it in the aspect of, instead of sucking my energy dry, I think about the fact that it's probably that they're so unhappy with their own life, or if they're commenting on what I'm eating or doing, it's because they're unhappy with what they've been doing. You know, a lot of times it's their own reflection, and they're just trying to harm you to make themselves feel better. So, you know, I again try to respond calmly, and I don't pay a ton of attention to it, and if you can, try to minimize your time with those individuals. I've literally put the dog right to sleep. He's now passed out, but I just wanted to give you guys some tips. I know for each and every one of us, we deal with this no matter what aspect of our life it is. So hopefully that gave you guys some good tips, and just remember, you know, to try to not let people that aren't important in your life either take up too much space in your head. Don't let people rent space in your head that don't pay rent. Don't let people live in your head that don't pay rent. Something like that. You get the drift of what I'm saying here. Coming at you from Jason's office because I just really love it in here. It's really, really nice what he's done with the place. I'm gonna close out this video though, guys. I hope you did enjoy the vlog. I hope you enjoyed the little chitty chat pep talk that I gave you, and be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you are subscribed before you head on out of here, and I will see you guys in the next video.